All right, I don't know, it's probably about 4:30 right now in the afternoon, and these are all dried out. These are the ones I had to put a little heavier amount of bleach water on them, and over here I had to do them, but it doesn't show on that side. And over here, which I didn't show you on the video, this is the second row batch of, I should say, of the they're drying out pretty good out here. There was another batch of them that I've already stacked away over here, and they're looking good. And this is the sandpaper, and we're just going to leave that. It's not supposed to rain tonight. I think I'll probably bring it in anyways. They're pretty clear, and I had to cut a little more off of some of them, not much. I can't do nothing with the body work yet because when I get started on that, I want to start early in the morning, and it's got to be a comfortable day because there'll be times the sun will be right on me. And it's getting a little breezy, so I think I better start putting some of these things away here. Yes, I think they're dried out good enough. So we're going to do that, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull Uncle Dorkel out. We're going to start doing the wiring of his wireless remote control. I wanted to give a little show, a test here of this board and everything, and everything was fine. I got the sandpaper put away, except for what's on the picnic table. I dragged Uncle Dorkel out, and I'm sweating like hell now. What I have to do is to hook up the battery here, and there's going to be a main switch on Uncle Dorkel's body. There isn't right now, but there will be. So everything will be switched off. Although the battery is removed anyway, still I want to switch on this. So the way this is wired, all the power from the 12 volts comes from this battery here, which is operated through the remote control for the head motors, left and right turn, and the head motor itself, which is a 12 volt window motor over here, and the solenoid for the mouth, which is right here. This is for those of you who have not been following this project, is over here, and that's directly wired straight through the remote. In other words, the full current of the motor is relay rather is carried through here. So I have to hook this up and go into this box, because I have to find out what wire is what, and hook temporarily. All right, so I have to go temporarily into these wires here. This is for the I battery. It's temporarily disconnected. These will be eliminated, and the I battery will be put back into the body of Dorkel where it originally was on the original setup that I had. But I have to get into this circuit here and temporarily take clip leads and go from these terminals as applicable and go into the wireless remote. I want to try to do that if I'm not too uncomfortable out here. Alright, so I have to be very careful, because if you reverse this polarity, this motor speed control will burn out immediately. There's the control for it down here for the head speed. I may have to turn that up a little bit, and that'll probably make it turn to the right better. What I have to do is now supply this with 12 volts, which will come off of here. And I'll do that with clip leads on here and a clip lead on here. We'll do that in a minute, but what we got to do is supply. I have to get the schematic out on this. I'm not sure what pins are what here now. I think it's I think it's right here, but I'm not sure. Anyways, these thin wires were just used for bench testing, just wires I happen to have in my junk box. So what we got to do is to couple this. Now this here is basically an on and off. That's all it is. It will supply the switching for the mouth or the head for one direction. Let's say this would be the head for one direction, this would be the head for the second direction. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll concentrate right now. This is just a dry run. When it comes time to put this in, I got to find out where I can put this circuit board. It's very small. It has a case that it goes into, and it could be sitting back here, you know, anywhere. It's not going to get in the way of anything. And then when I get it finalized where I want, I'll find out what pin is what here and pick the wire out of this mess. And this is extra wires right here. These are all extras for other things I may want to add in them later. And this terminal block here is where all the stuff gets connected to. So once we get this where we want it, we come directly off this remote control and go to that terminal block. And that's how that'll work. And this will get its power from here by way of the terminal block over here, because this is where the battery power goes to through a fuse. I turned up the head motor speed control up a little bit. I have to be careful because there's no stop, no electrical stop, safety stop, and this could be twisted right off in here. There's friction in there, but it's better than it was. We had a loose connection up in here. We're going to eliminate all this anyways once we get this done. I'm just using this to trace out the wires I need, and then I'll ohm them out at the pins here, and then we'll continue from there. Or I can actually ohm them out at the board up there. But you can hear the relays clicking. So this switch here, left and right switch, is only controlling the coils in these relays. There's no way you can eliminate that clicking so it can be heard in the skit. So what I got to do is to couple this to replace this switch here, and we're going to do that, and we'll get right back to you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, a goat tail. How about that? Okay, it's getting wicked out here. I'm just doing an experimentation. Very, very rough Rube Goldberg setup right now. As you can see, we just got wires clipped in here where I'm holding the positive lead down. We're pushing the A button on the remote control here. Alright, this has just got to be reversed. A button turns it to the right at this time. B button turns it to the left. I got his head speed higher than I should have. I can slow that down. So that's working. A button will turn it left or right. I can change the wires. These are just clipped in here. The B button will turn it the other direction. The C and the D, one of them can be the mouth and the other one can be the eyes. So that is all right now I'm doing. I'm just experimenting, and that's all. We're not going to be putting this in. It's too hot. I'm getting cranky. And that's it. So you get another video for today to watch. So, alright, so we're going to put this back, and we'll put the proper wires in here. This is all experimenting wires right now because I had this on the bench and doing some testing with it. So as you can plainly see, he's too big for the bench, he's too tall. I need to get in here. And this has some bad contacts because what happened when I got him out, this probably got stepped on and 3 pins are bent a little bit. So I want to eliminate this. It's coming out over here anyways. This here, these things don't hold anything. It's pulling out, see? So we're going to eliminate this completely. Once we get the wireless in, this is working very well. This will do the job very good. In here, we've got a lot of work to do. We're going to redo this mess. Originally, the D.I.Y battery was way back here. It's going to have to come out of here because this box is not going to be used, this cable's not going to be used. This socket will not be used, so I'll just save these here. But I got to trace out the wires, and I'll do that later. The I wire came off, the push button here came off the terminal. Too much flexing here, so we're going to get him so he's completely wireless, self-sufficient. We'll put a switch in here somewhere to turn the main power off, and I always pull the battery out because he's stored so long, and I have to keep the battery on trickle charge every once in a while to keep him up, especially in the winter time. And he's a little lighter without the battery to carry him into the shed. So in case you're not familiar with the complete building of Uncle Dorkel, or you don't feel like looking back on in those videos, if you look up here, there's a speaker here. John from the UK, like I say, the Solder Shack, he's no longer around. He sent me this and this speaker over here. Originally there was an amplifier in here. Alright, I removed that. There's a subwoofer over here. 5-inch subwoofer. And there's another speaker way up here. What I'm going to do is eliminate these two speakers over here, which go under his arm, and it has a grill in the back. So if I put an amplifier back in here again and speak through a wireless microphone system or something, I can do that, but usually when I'm doing a skit, I'm the one talking. And for me to hold the microphone up, that wouldn't look too good. So I'll remove this because what I want to do here, and you may not be able to see that. Did I pull it out of there? I think I did. Yes. See this string here? Can you get that, Tom?
Yep.
Okay. Oh man, look at, I'm trying to lift his arm. I have to see his arm? I have to lift it up. It's way too hard. What I want to do is to get, it's going to take a geared down car window motor to be mounted in place of the speakers. This speaker's taking up all that room, and right here is all the fuse assembly, so I can't come down any lower than that. So I'm estimating probably about from the bottom of the speaker to the top here is about 6 inches. So the motor can't be any taller than 6 inches, and I think this is longer. The gear would have to be mounted, and I want to put a pulley on it. But before I can do that, let me take you over here. Okay, here I built up his arm with cardboard, some foam rubber, and lots of masking tape, and the arms are pretty heavy for lifting up, and I think they are too long. I mean, for a body of this length, it's probably about right. But if I shorten the forearm and bring that, I could use these hands, I just bring it down. I think it's 1.25 inches PVC pipe that I built this out of. I can go to a thinner one. I've got a pool noodle that'll slip over it, and pool noodles are light. So I'll remove the complete arm in the future, not right now. Make it lighter so that I can motorize his arms, and when I do that, at that point, I will probably need another one of these wireless sets if they don't interfere with each other, so I can have the option of controlling the motor on the left arm and the right arm. Eventually I'd like to do that. That's a plan. It may not take place. So anyways, I'm going to put this stuff back in the shop. This is all I'm going to do. I just wanted to make this video. I knew it would work. No question about that. I knew it would work because after all, I built the thing, so you know. So it's going to have to be a lot better weather than it is now before I will actually build it. It's going to take me hours to put this in and hook it all up right and trace out the wires, and I got no patience when it's hot and humid. I'm very short fused. I give up quick. I get aggravated. It's just not worth it. You don't want to get angry and break things, or you know, do something wrong and screw it up, and you know what I mean. You got to be very careful when you're dealing with stuff like this. So I want to make this video for y'all to show you. Give you a quick rundown now. I'm tracing out all the wires because all these wires are all just two colors, white and black. Okay? They're not numbered, so everything was just done, and I ohmed them out, found out where my switch one goes and what controls the relay. If you look back on this, you'll see where I had 3 wires, a positive and relay 1, relay 2, and when I brought a clip lead over to one to the other, the head turned one way and then the other way. So basically that's what the switch does here. So that is traced out to here, and then we double check our work by going on this board here and cutting back any wires out of here, because we're not going to be using this plug. And if the wires are long enough, we can mount this board, the little board right here. I mean, it doesn't take much room up. The wireless board can be mounted right here. And this being this strip for connecting up to these relays and to the mouth trigger and everything else will be just a short run of wires connected to it. So all this takes time, cool, comfortable weather, lots of light, and it has to be done out here. What can I tell you? The thing is big. Take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Well, what do you think of the job? Isn't it a real good job? You gotta be kidding me.